Weird. Good morning, y'all. All right. To do update order filtering for completed because we changed the SK to use created at instead of completed at. Right. Update the let's see. Let's check in on the electro docs here. And we want to look at query and then I want to look at the order. Oh man, a bop. What a priv. We'll next this song. It's a little early for some that heavy of music. This does feel wrong. I'm doing well. What up, Vahi? Compare might be what we want. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, I think I'm not convinced. This doesn't feel right using created at. I mean, we at least get the status. I guess we could. We have to set on that. Yeah. I did not. Oh, I totally realized that I forgot to take my meds. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So it seems like we can't. I mean, that's a decent proxy. If they're completed, it's almost like we should use updated at. Yeah, I actually think this should probably be updated at. I mean, really. So we could do this and use our second index. So we could do something like this. And then down here, we could get rid of created at in the no, that's a decent index. So we could take by ID and we can make another index on GSI2, right? So this becomes, and this would be by completed at date. Just doesn't bias that much. And this would be completed at ISO. But that would give us an easy access pattern. Right here, I think. I still need to patch it by created at. That's fine. Get sync record by ID. We have by ID. Where was that to-do note? So theoretically here. We do that. No, that's not even. We wouldn't want by date. Sort key. What do we want it to be like that? No, I just don't think this is a good index. I don't want this at all. I just don't know what to do. Is it true that you will rewrite the entire Vercel in Rust because it's slow? What about Vercel is slow? I'll make it fast. Maybe we just get all right, I have to think about this. This is actually an annoyingly hard access pattern to nail down. Because as we put in entries, it'll be if we reverse it, status completed, order descending. This should actually work. Budget sync account ID. That might actually be it. Because if we put in, as we enter records for this, in fact, we can test this in a script, right? We can go here and we'll do record test.ts, go in here, And let's just say async function main. And let's get our service. Actually, we'll just import the entity. Where do we set this thing up? Do I have to use an effect for this? I just want the entity. ElectroDB. All right, sure. We'll run it with an effect. I don't care. So we get record, and we'll just return. Here, we'll say const main equals effect dot gen function star into our function. We'll get const db equals yield star electro db. We have our db, and then let's just insert a couple records. So we'll say db dot use. We get our client, and we'll come in here and we'll say client.entities.syncRecord.create, and let's make a record here, and this is going to have on it budget sync account ID, can be whatever, test, and we'll come in here and we need to set, we'll set, I guess we can just do that, yeah? What else is this missing? Everything else is optional. Yield star. What is this upset about? Oh, I didn't return it. Return. Async. Oh, yeah, I gotta say that go. And then we'll do this like a couple more times. And then we'll come here and we'll get the middle one and say just const record equals this. And we'll come down here and we'll say yield star db.use, get our client, go in here, and then we're gonna patch this thing to update the status. So it'll be client.entities.syncRecord.patch. And this is gonna, I think this just needs the budget sync account ID. And we'll set completed at new date, and we'll set the status to completed. And this will be .go. Status does not exist. Status is ready. Created at ISO will be format date ISO, and this will be our record dot. What? Record. Dot data dot created at. We can't put the status in the sort key. Right. That's going to be a problem. Right. Hmm. Well, that's insanely annoying. All right, that's all right. Let's authenticate with SSO. Did you see what I wrote on XDMs? I did not, Priv. Let me go check that as soon as I get authenticated here. I haven't opened my X notifications yet this morning. I'll open it over here. I recently got into this weird phase where instead of just looking at an example of code, I ask AI directly. What do you mean? Effect.run. We have to pipe this dot pipe effect.provide, and we need to provide a electrodb dot layer. Hopefully that removes all my dependencies. Yeah, there we go. Run promise main. All right, let's try running that. So that'll be bun run source slash electro db slash record test.ts. Rip. Data value is not finite in datetime format to parts. What? Excuse me? I mean, that I think that actually did create records though. Install data to handle the easy tasks from so that I've started using it more. E.g., I added a fake server to GCC instead of reading the docs and copying ton of code. I asked AI add and give the docs to the fake. Not bad. All right, I want to look for records. Here, we can filter this. Okay, so nothing did get made there. We can delete all these. By the way. Yeah, that's the main reason that I haven't started using AI a lot is because like all the CLI and NeoVip stuff is just like prohibitively expensive. There's no like $20 cursor subscription for NeoVim right now. And like I can't for the quality that AI provides me, like I can't justify the cost of something like Claude Code or something. It's just so expensive. And like at some point the subsidies on Claude and Windsurf are going to run out and real prices are going to hit and people are going to be pissed. Like these companies have dug themselves into holes by like subsidizing the cost of their subs that now like that price is the expectation. And unless I mean these companies need to find a way to drive the costs super far down, and otherwise I mean it's genuinely not sustainable. I've been considering like trying to find a good like server to run Olama on that I can just make network calls to, but yeah. I can't use Hetzner, dude. I signed up and it asked for my passport as identification, and I uploaded my passport, and they immediately banned me. Like, I tried to use Hetzner. Like, I wanted to just run a cheap little VPS on Hetzner, and I got fucking banned because I don't know why. Yeah, dude, they needed another form of identification, and I got wrecked. And I'm not the only person that's happened to. There's been a bunch of people on Twitter um, that when I brought that up, they said the same thing happened. All right, so what is happening here? I'm suspecting that I'm actually just going to go through here and see if we can get a single record inserted here. Okay. Where are we getting format? Aha, you. We don't need you anymore. That is the problem. In fact, we can uncomment this now because it's probably going to work. Ah, because they are different entities. So we almost do need the created at. Well, that is on there. What? Oh, because... Bro, this is so annoying. Yo, these vibes are immaculate right now. All right, that should hopefully work. Yeah. And we should have records. We should have 3 records over here now. I don't want any sort on. What are the timestamps for the created at? This is the earliest. Then you. I guess we need to query to figure out. We should probably set 2 of them to completed. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna update this. We'll set this completed. And we'll commit that. And then we're gonna just query and see the order that they come out in. Yield star db.use client dot entities dot sync record dot by query dot by budget sync account ID. And what does this need in it? We need the budget sync. Yeah, Kraut. It literally they needed my passport and then banned me after I uploaded it. Super sketchy. All right. This is going to be adder, and this will be ops, and then we can say ops dot eq, and this will be adders dot status, and this will be completed. And then we can just like const data equals that, and then we'll yield star that effect.log, and we'll log data. One 178 I wonder what they're sorting this on. Well, obviously we know what the sort is on the sort key, which is created at, and then ID. This is not what I want. We can make a composite of this is an annoying access pattern in DynamoDB. I'm not gonna lie. It's almost worth how do we want to do this? We could partition it. Yeah, you can go see her. Yes. Go get her. Yes, buddy, I see you. I know. We've already hung out this morning. He said, give me puppy chow.
Go get him. Winnie, go get him. Winnie, get him.
This is really what I want. I think. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to make this work. And then if I want to get the most okay, does this pattern actually work? No, but I can't update the status then, right? This is where it breaks. In order to update a record, maybe that's just the way it has to be. I basically have to do a delete and replace. Because this would need the status. And I can't update the status. Yeah. Hmm. Oh, chat, how do we do this? In DynamoDB, can you use a value that can be undefined / unset as part of your sort key? I mean, maybe that's okay. Because now completed at needs to be set when we create a record, which is not what we want. Although I can set it as undefined explicitly. I'll hold up just a second here. That doesn't locate the right. Can I actually update the status? No, I can't. There's nothing I can update here. What's up, wizard?
Tell him how you got breakfast. Go get him. Go get him, buddy. Get him. Get him. Say hello, excuse me.
Hi,
I
Bogey.
had breakfast now and I'm calm.
Did you get your puppy chow? You calm down now? Good boy.
You from me.
Good boy. Yes, I see you. You're very slobbery. Okay, I'm gonna wipe your slobber off on you.
Oh, Bodhi.
Alright, down.
Why do you still have these?
What?
Why do you still have these?
I'll make sure they cached.
Okay, bye.
Bye. You shut my door?
Nope.
Thanks.
You coming?
Maybe we do Hold on. Hodl chat. We need to do some reading of the docs. Here we go. This is kind of what I'm looking for. Is this... This is bad formatting, but I think this... Or was it condition? A function that accepts all attributes provided every mutation that then returns a Boolean value. When provided, ElectroDB will use this function to determine if an index should be written, given a provided set of attributes. This is useful for implementing sparse indexes. That's what we want. Sparse indexes that only contain a, yep, sparse indexes, yeah, chat, that's what we want. We want a, let's just get rid of this for now. And really this should be, and do something like that. That basically gives us by ID. And we want a completed, let's say by completed. I don't know what we're gonna name this. We're just gonna say this is completed, and this is going to be on our GSI1. So index will be GSI1. And then we want condition. This is our adders, and we'll say if adders dot completed. I hate that that's not strongly typed. This is going to be a entity, sync record entity. And then if adders dot why am I not getting autocomplete here? Return true, return false. PK, yeah, I get it. The primary key is going to be GSI1 PK. And in here, this, oh wait, this needs to be an object. And this is going to have field. That will be GSI1 PK. And composite will be budget sync account ID. I actually don't think we need this at all. And then these sort key, this is where we get the, okay. We're gonna copy the ISO, yoink that, go down like 20 lines. I'm gonna possibly sneeze. Oh God, chat. Nope, we're good. It was a close one. And this will be created, and that gets replaced with completed. Yeah. This can be undefined though. So let's just say this is or undefined. And we'll say if completed at is equal to undefined, we'll just return undefined. We probably need a get on that too, don't we? Required false, default. I don't think we want a default here. All right. Winning, that sounds horrible. The sort key will be, this will be GSI1 SK, and then the composite is going to be completed at sort key. Or ISO, okay, yeah, sorry. All right, I think that is close to what we want. Because now this, when we do adders dot, I don't understand how this is getting typed as any. It's really grinding my gears. Oh, we're recursively. That makes sense, chat. We did a silly. We did a silly. Schema dot type. I hate that this isn't typed. I really want to go in and write new types for ElectroDB. Okay, so we can do a internal, might as well just export it. So we'll do export const decode sync, which is inherently unsafe. But that's okay in this case because it'll get caught and turned into a electro validation error, which we then wrap with the effect. So we can do schema dot decode sync, and we'll pass in our schema here, and we're gonna buy ourselves type safety by saying const record equals decode sync of adders. This is basically like doing zod.parse. In fact, that needs to be decode unknown. 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 If I could type. And we'll change that to, oops. Unknown. And then we'll put unknown right there. Yep. And we'll go up here. This will be decode unknown sync. And that will give us our record. And then we can say record dot completed at does not equal undefined. We can just return that, right? We can return record dot completed at actually does not equal undefined. If that is true, we will include it in the index. So we just created a sparse index. And we can also query it now. Ah, this is so nice. I did not know I could make sparse indexes. It's exactly what I wanted. At least I think that's what I wanted. So let's go back to our record test. And in here, let's restart here. And we can do this. So we make let's clear our database first. So let's refresh and delete the records we put in. Let's get rid of those. And then we'll come back over and we will, thank you for the follow. What, Mizzy? How are you going? I am going, I'm doing well. We just figured out how to do sparse indexes with ElectroDB and DynamoDB, and I'm thinking that's going to unlock the access pattern I actually want and need here. So we'll see what happens when we try to patch this record. We really need ID to be part of this. So we're almost there. Yeah, we should put the we should do created at ISO. Do we have that in here? We do. Great. Let's see here. Created ISO, and then this will be ID. Yeah, okay. So now we can come in here and we can say like, this will be like budget sync account ID, and this will be the record we want to update, budget sync account ID. And now we should have to update the ID, and we have the ID on here. The ID is a hash of the account ID and the full created at timestamp. And then create at ISO, we can take format ISO, and we'll just say created at, this will be record dot created at. and then we need to say set, and here we update the status. Let's go. Completed. Let's go. Literally dot go. And then let's see if we can query that index. So we'll uncomment this, and we can get rid of that. The query we want is completed. And this takes what? A budget sync account ID? Nice. Nice. Should just be test. We should get one result in this data here. So let's run. Please work. Damn it. Incomplete composite attribute provided for GSI1. Missing composite attributes identified completed at. I don't know what that means. What if we... I don't know what that means, chat. So we hit the error on the first create, I think. Yeah. And incomplete composite attribute provided for index GSI1. Write operations that include composite attributes for indexes with a condition callback defined must always provide values for every index composite. Ah. I don't understand what that means. The composite chain method helps build keys during an update using attributes that are not being modified. For example, some cases where this is helped, migrating existing entities in place to use a new secondary index, best used with patch, updating attributes that appear in an index composite when one or more of the other composite attributes are read-only. The presence of a condition callback will add a new runtime validation check on all mutations. When conditional index is defined, all member attributes of the index must be provided if a mutation operation affects one of the attributes. This is to ensure the index is kept in sync with the item's attributes. If you're unable to update / patch all member attributes, some are read-only, you can use the composite method. I still don't understand it. The composite chain method helps build keys during an update using attributes that are not being modified. For example, some cases where this is helpful, migrating existing entities in place using a new secondary index, updating attributes that appear in a index composite. So like, do I have to come here and do dot So I just can't even like create right now. I mean, I could follow suit with what that example did, and just use rather than making this we could do exactly what they did, right? Like NA or something like unset. We'll do NA, I guess. It feels bad, but also that's just, there's some things that are different about Electro that wait. That are different about Electro compared to relational databases, and I think I need to just wrap my brain around this. I'm curious if that will do it. Yeah, here we go. Nice. Okay. We got somewhere here, chat. I don't know where I'm parsing. We gotta. Where is this happening at? Like, that part shouldn't be happening. Is that really what's happening? I don't know where that schema's getting run. I'm quite confused. Oh, it's getting run in the index. Ah, no wonder. Okay, hold on. We're cooking. I forgot we put that in there. Hodl. We're getting somewhere. What's EffectTS? EffectTS is a basically a drop-in standard library for TypeScript. I don't build TypeScript applications without it anymore. Oops. There's the website, and then I have a conference talk on it that we can pull up, and we'll drop that in the chat if you're curious. Yeah, I love Effect. Everyone on the stream knows I love Effect. I'm a huge Effect shill. So date from self. Aha. Yeah. We can probably do what up, Jero and Raiders? Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? What were y'all working on? We were working on some database modeling and financial app syncing between Splitwise and YNAB. Nice. So let's just go ahead and change this to a date. And we'll keep that there. And that should get our index working. We'll come up here and we'll go back to our test script, which is actually already open over here. And now we can go ahead and keep filling out the rest of this. And that should be good. All right, let's see. Did we clean up the database? Database is cleaned up. Great. All right, man. Have a great day. What's up, Fox? How do I get into a company like Vercel? You have to care about your craft. You have to work hard. You have to practice. Data structures and algorithms, like obviously you have to like know when to reach for things, but we're not gonna, our interview process isn't like leak codey. We have a live coding interview. Technically we have 2 live coding interviews, but we have like a data structures and algorithm live code, but it's not It's not super leak codey. It's kind of more of a realistic example. It's fun. It's not a gotcha. It's a problem you can iterate on, and there's a couple different solutions, and we don't necessarily care if you get the optimal solution or not. We just want to see your thinking, communication process, and how you iterate towards a better solution. We have a coding interview where we ask you to make you have an hour to make a quick little full stack app, front end component, back end component, and you get to choose where you want to spend your time and really just flex your skills where you feel the most comfortable. Like if you want to go balls to the wall and make like a super awesome REST API with like validation and caching, do that. But if you're like a CSS guru, spend time on the front end, right? Then we have a system design. Just work hard and care about your craft. Treat people with respect and kindness, and a little bit of luck. Not gonna lie, I've gotten very lucky to be where I'm at. If I apply to Vercel, can I request you as my interviewer? They will probably explicitly not let me be your interviewer if you request me. What did I just do? All right, let's go back up here. And did we run this? I can't tell if I just ran this or not. I got distracted. Oh, this can like refresh automatically. That's kind of sick. So we can come down here and go ahead and do that. All right, so that looks like it worked. Do we get transactions? We do. Our completed at did not return any data though, which is concerning. Yeah, completed at ISO. When we set the status to completed. Oh, chat, we can get like really clever here. I have a good idea. We can do a watch on where's completed at? We can do a watch on the status, and we can grab the status one here too, right? Status will be where is it? Yeah. So we get the status. If completed as undefined, then we'll say if status and status does not equal completed, we return undefined. Otherwise, we'll say, what does that rule out? Now we'll say if completed at, what's up?
Let me know how you think that sounds. And if I should change anything.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting anything?
Nope, I think that sounds good.
So that's our base, medium, and high?
Sure.
We're definitely not doing the high. I just want to see what it costs.
Yeah. So if completed at, what status narrowed here, and status is, if completed at is undefined and status does not equal that, if completed at and status is completed, we return new date. So now we're automatically setting completed at. And finally, if completed at yeah, that works. When we get it, returns undefined. Set completed at NA. Does this logic make sense? Hold on. Let's add the buffer. Does the logic for completed at and completed at ISO 8601 make sense in this ElectroDB schema? All right, I think I got it. All right, make sure that I don't want this disabled. All right, let's run it again. And hopefully that fixes our problem. All right. Attributes may only watch other attributes. What? Attributes may only watch other attributes, also watch attributes. The following attributes are defined with ineligible attributes to watch. Completed at what? That is the most confusing error I've ever read. So I can't watch That's fine. This actually might be okay. Why didn't this should have gotten updated? Why is my completed at SK not getting set? Where completed at is being set. Where is that field at? Wait, I don't even see completed at on here. What? Am I crazy? There's not a completed at column. All right, we're gonna debug. That's what I would expect. That is like the order I would expect. I'm still not seeing the completed at column. Let's start logging some data. So we'll log over here. We'll log completed at, and then in the other set, we'll log status and completed at. All right. Right. This needs to be an effect.log. Yield star effect. We are so close, chat. This is important because I haven't used a sparse index before, so this is a good this is good to learn here. All right, here we go. How are those getting logged? Whatever. That's fine. It's because it's going out. This is buffering out at another. Yeah, that makes sense. Status. ISO. That. Yeah, set. So we never run the patch. Does patch not run the setters? Patch must not run the setters. Right? That has to be what's happening here. This... We set... Oh, right, because we took the watch out on... Putting the watch on here. Yeah, patch must... That sucks that I can't watch that. Yeah. That's okay, I guess. I mean, we can constrain this. This is going to be constrained by business logic, which is sometimes a trade-off you have to make with... Why can't I make this equal? What is its... The hell is happening? Shouldn't equal... Oh, that's equal. Okay. There we go. So this just needs to get set as completed at, and this should actually work now. Yeah, that's okay, I think. Let me jump back over here, make sure our records are, yeah, delete these. And I think this is gonna get us where we need to be. DM me on Twitter, MS, and we'll chat. The short answer is yes. Okay, I'm hoping this works this time. Ah, okay, we got a parse error. That's good. That means our setter got hit. Created at is missing. That's interesting. That means in our setter, our conditional right here, this thing. Let's just go ahead and console.log adders. Adders. And this will be condition. I'm just going to call it condition. And clean up again. All right, adders, that looked like we had some promising stuff there. Why is created not included? That's weird. It's probably a skill issue. It's required. Default get set. How is what? Chat, I don't understand how created at would be. How are we even in a situation where created at is missing? That does not make any sense whatsoever. Hold on, chat. I might have to go grab my work laptop and just answer a quick DM. Yeah, I'll be right back. This will only take me like 2 minutes to send this support stuff over. I'll be right back. I forgot to tell you guys. Actually, this might have happened after stream yesterday. I can't remember. But Winnie ate an entire rose bush. It wasn't like a big one. Justine had just planted rose bushes on the side of our house. And I don't think the queue is up to date right now. Because this is definitely not set your goals. What does the spinner say? Our queue. This is definitely not what's playing right now. This is what's playing. And now this is BMC by... Oh man, the queue. I've never seen the queue get off. There we go. Now it caught up. That was weird. All right. I don't understand how we're even getting to this spot where created at's not here. Like, it literally doesn't make sense to me that created at... Okay, now it's there. What changed that this is there now? What? Wait, what? Do I need to do like... Oh, it's because it's not updating the index. Because we're querying from the index. I think I have to do this composite thing. I should really just start exposing this. What does this completed at ISO? How does created at get dropped? I literally just don't understand how that's happening. This is the most confusing shit I've ever dealt with. That's not true. This is far from the most confusing shit I've ever dealt with. I'm just yapping and complaining. It's so weird that that created at a set on all of them. Chris Card, I don't have a good NeoVim git diff story at the moment. I need to learn how to use git signs a little bit better, and I might use diff view. But admittedly, oh, this didn't get set either. So our completed at never got set. Because that I can't, I mean, I can try in here. Like if I come in here and say, I can't set created at because it's read only. What are the differences here between created at and updated at? Because updated at is shown, so it's a watch. Default new date, get set. All right, back to the fracking docs. Where are the sparse indexes? Indexes, close that down, sparse indexes. Past all attributes set on that mutation. All mutations set. They're read only. Bro, I don't understand. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Beginning with ElectroDB 2.14, the presence of it will add a new when a condition index is defined. All member attributes of the index must be provided if a mutation operation affects one of the attributes. Okay, this is actually the error we're running into. I should have read the docs. Is this Julian Baker? This is definitely Julian Baker, right? Dude, RQ? What is happening to RQ right now? All right, we're just gonna restart the machine. See if that fixes her up. All right, so I tried using the composite attributes here, Vafi. And like I can't pass created at here, I don't think. Like it's gonna give me a type error. But I wonder, like, if we ignore that for just a second and we clean up the database. That's not the database. Attribute, yeah, it says read only, cannot be updated. If I call composite on this, composite only lets me set completed at and budget sync account ID. This is what we looked at earlier. Like, I think we can be okay by doing something like, like that's not really type safe, but like, I guess whatever. Okay, there's what we expected. Like that worked 100%. And if we come in here, completed at, I'm almost curious. What up, trash puppy? Long time no see. A little early for you. If y'all aren't following Trash, please do. She's lovely. All right, so I think the last thing we want to nail down here is I'm not sure that we need the completed at ISO. I think we can possibly get rid of this. Actually, I want to check the docs and see if we can override the template index. Attributes as indexes, advanced use of template. Dude, it would be so sweet if template gave me a function. Does this give me anything useful here? Template. Stringer number, casing, template. No, it's not going to give me what I want. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, chat. I'm doing well. Very, very busy with work, but otherwise, that's a good thing. Yeah, just busy with work. Everything's good. Getting closer to the wedding, so that's exciting. Oh, I finished my tattoo sleeve next week. I wrap up my elbow right here, and then I will have 2 sleeves finished. Let's see here. We want to do... I think we can get rid of the ISO. And we're storing... How are we storing completed at in the first place? To ISO string. So if we could drop down into node, d equals new date, we say date dot to string. What's that give me? That's not what we want. To local, what are my options here? To local date string. Nope, that's not what we want. To local string. Also not what we want. Time string. No. All right, so none of those. Dot to, what are my options here? To date string. That's not what we want. Is it really going to be to ISO? Is this relative? Is this my time zone? No, that's UTC, right? It's got to be UTC. Yeah, it is. All right, we will just yeah, we can store that as Yeah, I think we can delete this. Get rid of that. And then we'll have, rather than that being ISO 8601, this is just going to be completed at. That's going to give us better sorting. So now we can sort down to the minute. Or actually down to the second. Millisecond? How low does that go? I don't know. It doesn't matter. That's what we want though. Let's go back over here, clear our database one more time, and I think we should be at a spot where this is going to be able to give us all the access patterns we need. So this is good because I will probably need to use sparse indexes at work. So this was a great learning lesson. Yep, one more session. It's gonna be a short. It's gonna be a really short session, so I might get something on my leg too in the same session. We'll see. It changes. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's run this. Let's run it back. Damn it. Invalid composite attribute. Invalid composite attribute. Completed as defined as being type any, but is. What? PKSK. Composite. This is stupid. I can't win. Do we use the created at ISO anywhere? Yeah, we do. So we can do, all right, what is the full ISO spec? Mozilla to ISO string. The only reason it is split up into different sessions is due to time, right? Yeah, I generally sit for about, I'll do 4 to 5 hours in a session, or like 3 to 4 really, actually. ISO 8601. There is a, what are the different format names for ISO 8601? ISO, date, time. All right, whatever. Is that really? We're actually gonna ask ChatGPT here, because I don't trust the model. I was just, dude, I just sniped myself and clicked exit. Why can dates in ISO 8601 be year, month, day, or year, month, month, day, T, hour, minute, second. All right, so we'll just say full date. Let's rename this because we obviously have misnamed this so far. So we're going to open this inspector. What is it? Capital S. We're going to replace created at ISO 8601. And this is going to be created at, what was the name for it? Full date? Yeah. So we'll call this created at full date. And we'll do a find and replace all those. And then we want to come over here. We can get out a Spectre. And we'll say, this is Yvette Young for sure. Dude, our queue is still borked. Is song requests working right now? It was Spectre. So we want one other field here, and we'll say this is going to be created at date, time. Is that what it said? Combined date, and time. Whatever. In fact, we can do one more thing. We'll do created at, hold on. Created at full date, and we'll make that created at ISO full date. Yeah, something like that. And then we'll come here and we'll rename this function, and this will be format date ISO full date. Yeah, it's fine. That didn't even work. Format date ISO full date. Why? Something tells me we just made a bunch of errors. We'll specter this too. All right, so we didn't do too bad here. And then we'll go back to source electrodb sync record in here. All right, everything looks good in here, except for created at. We want to make this ISO full date and time. And this is just going to be or is this supposed to be completed at? This is supposed to be completed at, I think. Yeah, I'm dumb. Set. In fact, this can be a virtual field, can it? I'm almost positive this can be a virtual field. I think ElectroDB does virtual fields. Attributes. Virtual. What are we listening to, chat? Creating virtual attributes. You guys are so stupid. Yeah, the queue is still broken as all hell. I don't know what's going on with the queue. Fly machine deploy. Fly deploy. So stupid. It's so stupid. What are my favorite YouTube subs? Let me get this working and I'll go look. So this should be completed at ISO date and time. Okay. This is undefined. And we'll say completed at dot set, and this will be adders. Completed at to ISO string. All right, how did we break this now? I have got myself so far down this date time rabbit hole. Okay. I wonder when that gets called. Dot set status completed at. And then we want to go to the test, record test. And let's just make one record. Let's clear the database, hit up the old refresh piece. Good, we don't have anything in there. So this is probably failing. Maybe this is where I need to create an ISO full date. That seems fine. Let's make sure. All right, we're going to start with just creating one. And I don't think this works either. Yeah, it doesn't. Created at ISO full date. I think that's fine. What was the error about again? Was it the completed at ISO. Write operations that include composite attributes for indexes with a condition call event must always provide values for every index composite. Which, okay. That goes on there. Let's just see what that does. How's that still wrong? Completed at .2 ISO. Oh, because it's NA. Ha! Yes. I think this might be the logic we want. Yep. There we go. Completed at ISO time. All right, that worked. We were skill issuing ourselves. I am a coffee person. All right, so let's try. We're almost there. Let me just check my calendar, make sure I don't have anything right. All right, great. We can wrap this up, and then I will go over my YouTube subs for the person that asked, and then we'll wrap up. But we are super close here. Finally. So let's uncomment everything, and we're gonna make a bunch of records now.
Functions describe the world.
Do that, uncomment this, uncomment this. Great, and then we'll do this and log that. And let's clean up the database, delete this record, boom, boom. Run. That's interesting that I got those in that index. That's interesting that I got those in that index. Why would I have got those in that index? Ah. Ha. And adders dot completed at does not equal n dot a. Right. All right. Now we pop this off, we get one back. There it is. All right. One last test here is that I want to set 2 of these to be completed. I'll say this is const record 2. Two, 2. All right. All right, we should get 2 back now. Sorry, data clean. Great, run this. We should see 2 results come back, and are they in order? Which now means that we should be able to do the query where when we query them, let's go ahead and just not create any now. And when we create them, to get the most recently completed, which is the whole thing we've been working towards, we want to do, it's in Go. We're going to say Go, and we're going to say order is descending. Let's start there, and we should get that. The fuck is that? 364, 327, and now we limit to 1, and now we get the most recently completed sync with good performance, with good access patterns, with good data storage costs that work in our existing clustered index collections. What a puzzle that we solved this morning, chat. We learned about quite a bit here. Some gotchas, some foot guns, but we arrived where we wanted to be, which was basically being able to efficiently query the most recently completed synced sync run. Because when I scale this out, even to just Justine and I, this is going to be running basically every 30 seconds. So it's going to be creating a record every 30 seconds. So you can see how this table is going to get very big. And I want efficient queries over that data. Wow. All right, YouTube subscriptions. Only took 2 streams to fetch 1 item. It's true, Vafi. Completed at won't come back as null. It's just Riz. It will come back as undefined. Black coffee, by the way. All right, so my YouTube subs. Let's go look here. YouTube. Subscriptions. Is there an easier way to look at my subs? Lucas Barak is really good for EffectTS stuff. A lot of great stuff in there. Listen, Vafi, I could have fetched the item very easy by doing like a table scan and then finding it in memory. But like that collection is going to grow every 30 seconds, every day, every month, every year. And like that becomes prohibitively expensive. Core Dumped has been a favorite of mine recently. Core Dumped is so good. I never got a good education in like low level stuff or operating systems. And Core Dumped has been amazing. I love this stuff. It's so good. Like his video on CPU scheduling is really good. This button's broken, very good. Obviously, Fireship. Rocket-powered Mohawk is offensively funny for F1 content. Obviously, our boy Low Level. Gotta shout out Low Level. Who else do I enjoy watching pretty often? Developer Voices is good. Code to the Moon's pretty good, but they haven't put out a video for a while. Code Aesthetics is obviously very good, but also has been a while. No Boilerplate has pretty good stuff. Michigan TypeScript. If you're into TypeScript, you cannot go wrong by watching Michigan TypeScript. Like, this channel actually has the best TypeScript content and tutorials on YouTube, on the web, period. Like, this stuff is so much better than anything out there. DevOps Toolbox has been pretty good too. Yeah, that's kind of what I watch. And I always have like a bunch of like ambient music. All right, I gotta wrap up, guys. Yeah. Michigan is Dimitri, who I work with. Dimitri is one of my favorite people. Just in time, Ryan. Ooh, we could go raid some OCaml. Ooh, looking at OTel. I'm going to force you guys to learn OTel because I think it's one of the most important things that people don't do enough is adding open telemetry. So let's go hang out with Nick and learn about OTel. We'll catch you tomorrow and have a